right, let's do it live on the final Football Friday. This is it. Last Friday.
Don't say that.
Before we that will be a prelude to a football game. This is it, and then we won't do this again until preseason.
I'm on to 2025. I'm
You're already
Cleveland
there.
Browns daily.
You're already there. How you living? The great Z, the great, amazing.
Baby. I don't know.
Spectacular.
Got a little
Z.
extra pep in my step
You do.
today.
He's back.
Baby.
There's a bounce.
Guess who's back?
Just bouncing around,
Back again.
levitating, not even walking so much as
Shady's
floating.
back. Oh man, just gliding
Look at
along.
here.
Why don't we find out? We got
Look
a
at
little.
this, from
We got
the
a
Hoff.
package. Look at autograph of the Hoff on the front.
Look at the brand on
Hall
this
of
thing.
Fame beef.
Look at
Six
this.
Springs Farm from Wisconsin.
I love that premium beef from Wisconsin. Gorgeous.
How about you got the Six Springs Farms.
I
you got
actually
the
did
football.
think when shipping brought the box up, I'm like, is there actually beef? Because I didn't open it. It
first
came
thing
in
I
a
said to
giant
him.
cardboard box, and I'm like, could be dry ice.
Right. We
but,
want to
like,
make sure we don't have ruin.
We got to figure out what to do with this sooner rather than later. I feel like.
We-
I am
ruined
told from a source close to the Hoff, and by close to I mean in
Hoff.
fact the Hoff himself, that when the next steer has to go up to steer heaven,
Yeah.
some steaks could be coming our way.
Oh, baby.
All right, so let's see what we got here. Beautiful box.
I mean, this
by the
is
way.
a great box.
It
and
is.
This is
By
probably
the
what
way,
the beef
is
comes
this
in.
the second anniversary or the third anniversary
Look
of
at
the
the
day
inside of
after
the box.
he went into the hall
like
or
it's
got
a football
announced?
leather.
Oh, my God.
The dimples.
I don't know the date on that. This is gorgeous. Look at the dimples of the football, like the
yes.
Duke.
All right, what do we got here?
Oh, you got a nice lid there.
We
That's
got a
gorgeous.
Hall of Fame beef hat here. Here you go, Bo.
That's beautiful. Lovely.
Oh,
What a guy.
Hall of Fame
beanies.
beanie.
Beanies for the kids. Lovely.
It's like a shoreman's beanie.
It is. I love a Shoreman's
Oh, here's a
beanie.
hat for me. How about it?
What a job.
What do we have
Look at the
here?
Hoff. Swagged it
What
out.
do we have here?
Swagged it out, the Hoff did.
In an XL. Oh, just for me. Perfect.
Look at that baby. That's beautiful. Little hoodie. Look at that logo.
Little
It's
hoodie.
so strong.
An Adidas hoodie.
It is so strong, Hoff. Well done.
What's this? Oh,
Oh, baby.
a second for you. There's a large there
What a
for
time.
you. What a time to be alive.
From the great Hoff.
How about this?
I mean, come on.
If I'm not mistaken, this is
looks like
an Eddie Bauer fleece.
And that's a Gibby. That's Gibby size right there, baby. This one is.
This one's for Gibbe.
Yeah,
There you go,
there you go,
Gibbe.
Gibby.
Oh, look, here's one for
I
you.
think this is a look
this.
into how Zagura opens Christmas gifts on Christmas morning.
I don't care
There's
about getting
paper
gifts.
flying.
I care about
things
giving.
Flying.
No, I'm all into the giving.
Hey, look,
I'm
I
into
got
the
some
giving.
clothes.
Hold on,
All
look
right,
at
what's
this picture.
next?
Look at the picture in here.
Oh, look at the
Hoff
Hoff.
and the family. Is it the same on both sides?
That's just Solo Hoff. With his steeds.
With his steeds. With the steer.
There they are. They're all
All
there.
right, so now we've got.
Oh, now what? Oh, my God, Hoff.
This looks like cutlery.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Oh, baby.
Look at this
How
Hoff
beautiful is that?
autographed Hall of Fame beef.
Hoff, come
Chef's
on.
knife.
Come on, Hoff.
Gee, hey,
come
come
on.
on. All right, so there's one
Oh,
for
very
you
nice, very nice.
and a one
Good
for me.
grief. How
We've got some for the for the
Absurdly
boys in the back.
generous, the Hoff.
And then look at this.
What do you get there?
Could
What
it
do you
be
Oh, look at that.
a set of 6 single tine? Very important, with Hoff beef on the set.
I mean, come on.
Are you
Hoff,
serious?
it's
What is
outrageous.
This is outrageous.
Oh, those are beautiful.
Oh man.
Man,
oh
it's
baby.
beautiful, beautiful.
And the box.
The boxing is incredible. You get a look at the lovely Hoff right there
Look at
on
him.
it.
You get the Hoff and the children's.
Oh, look at him.
Yes.
Oh, that's the one from Hall of Fame Saturday night.
Yeah. How well? Well,
That's beautiful. How about it?
how about it?
How about it? Oh, my gosh.
Well,
Thank you.
next level's next. I mean, we're
See you on down the
we're
road.
not getting any better than this. Although we have fun things to do today, but
We do.
nonetheless.
What a great job. I can't wait to try the meat.
Oh,
I cannot wait.
it's got to be.
Yeah.
Mouth
I love everything.
watering.
I mean, the branding is so cool. Good job. Great job out of the Hoff. Thank you.
Living vicariously.
Hoff. Yes.
Much love.
We love you. Much
Hoff,
love.
Hoff, Hoff. Come on, Hoff. Beautiful.
By the way,
how'd this happen? And we're opposite again.
again.
Sort of, although I'm blue-gray and you went gray-black. Same hoodie.
No, this is blue.
Oh, do you have blue? Oh, you have a blue pant. We
Yeah.
are just inverted.
We are inverted.
How about that?
Well,
How about it?
I like this beanie too. It's like a shoreman's beanie.
That's a North Face, buddy.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
it is beautiful.
That's gorgeous. Great job.
Man,
Great job. Thank you.
how about it?
Yeah.
is right.
What a way to
Let's
start
go.
a day. How do you start a Friday better than that? You don't, is the answer.
No, you don't.
Do you want to do awards night? Do you want to do Hall of Fame? Or do you want to do our new tight end coach, reportedly? Choose your own adventure. The Browns
I'll go
are
where you
reportedly
go.
hiring Christian Jones as their new tight end coach. Jones spent the last 2 seasons as the assistant quarterbacks coach for the Giants after spending the 22 season as an offensive assistant there. He spent 2020 to 2021 as a Vikings assistant wide receivers coach. He would have been the quality control coach while Kevin Stefanski was the offensive coordinator in Minnesota. There is your connection. So there you go.
There it is. There it is. Welcome aboard.
right.
Last tight end we've had. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the Browns tight end coach has been a springboard to being an OC in the NFL because wasn't Drew Petzing?
Petzing was tight end coach.
Yep. OC
And then
in
did
Arizona.
he switch to quarterbacks here before he left?
I'd have to look that up, but I know
he
at
did.
One,
I think
at
at
one point
he
definitely was
tight ends, but for some reason I want to say like last year here he flopped to quarterback coach.
Let's see, Drew.
I could have that wrong.
Maybe, but
it's
maybe you
possible.
have it right.
Maybe. But I thought
Browns tight end coach 2021, quarterback coach 22, Arizona OC 23.
There you go. Yeah. Ball's not going to spike itself. There you go. Every once in a while, you win one there. So there you go. So
I love
be
this
good to
feeling
get
like
a
the Hoff
familiar
is
face
near. He's near to us.
He is. I mean, he's right there. You could see him. I can see him. You got the signature here. The great Hoff.
man.
The great Hofstradamus.
Honest to goodness, he is one of the most legible signatures I've ever seen for a megastar. You can make out every single letter.
Who? There's one guy. Let me just check.
But would you agree with that? I think it's a
Yeah, it got me thinking about something that I wanted to. I believe that. I think this makes sense.
let's see.
Yeah, this is it. So, it's Bart Starr. So Bart Starr's signature is perfect.
Okay.
Every letter, just like the Hoffs, is
Yep.
perfectly legible.
Okay.
And he was at a Bolitnikoff presentation when I was down in Tallahassee. That the Bolitnikoff winner that year was a guy you may have heard of named Larry Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald. Sure.
Yeah. So Bart Starr was like the keynote speaker at Florida State. So you went up and you interviewed Freddie and you interviewed Larry and then you interviewed Bart because he was the main guy. And somehow in like the media availability, someone asked him about his signature. And his answer to it was something that I have never forgotten and I think makes a lot of sense. And his thing was that he wanted it to be, he put him from the perspective of a kid asking for it. He didn't want there to be any ambiguity that
As
it
to
was
whose.
his signature, that every letter could be read.
Yep.
And it is. His is like that. The Hoff's is like that. I mean, the Hoff signature is incredible. Ezekiel Elliott has one that is incredibly legible. There's several of them that do, but a lot of people will just go, I mean, that's what I do. How do you do? Right.
Here, you got to go to the single cam here. Nope.
You can
We're
make
not
out
gonna
the
do it.
two
There already. Can you see it? No, too wide.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe
Maybe.
just a hair.
You can make out the two B's in mine. That's it.
Yeah, so you get
Everything
the,
else
You
is
get
just-
the NDZ. You get the Nath D Zgra.
Yeah.
Z.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. But those guys were locked in on it. They got it all sorted. Gibby will want here. He's going to want one before you leave today.
I'm sure.
So there you go. So I thought that's what when I saw that with the Hoff, that reminded
yeah,
me of
it's
that
beautiful.
Bart
Bart Starr. I
situation.
looked it up. It's a lovely
Yeah, it's
signature.
very, very legible. So the NFL awards kind of went the way we thought. Gibbe nailed Patrick Surtain. Good job to you, Gibbe. First one in 5 years, corner to win it. He wins that award. I think what happened at MVP. First of all, I love the fact
It's like
that
the Academy Awards.
I love the fact that Jim Miller voted Lamar Jackson fourth.
It's outrageous.
He's on that show with Kerwin.
Yeah.
Like, what
Move
the hell, man?
chains.
What are we doing?
We'll
By
see
the
him
way,
in
fourth?
we'll see him in a few weeks.
By the way,
Fourth?
isn't the list of voters a little odd?
Quite. Let's leave it at that, but quite. I don't know what the requirement is to get
I
on
have
that list.
no idea about the
Sometimes
AP
it feels
voters.
like it's very strenuous, and others just come on in, baby. So I don't know. I was floored by the list of humans that vote on
I
that.
love that they expose them. Like, if you're going to
Yeah.
vote, like Mike Florio was upset by it. I'm like, why? They should do that for baseball, too, when they try to
He
lock
was upset
everybody
that
out.
they made their votes public.
Yeah. They should
Why?
make everybody's votes public.
Make them public.
This isn't voting for President of the United States. It's voting for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Like, if you want the privilege of voting for it, you should be held accountable.
Correct. There was a guy from the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel that had Josh Allen third. There was one other guy that's a vote that stood out, but I think he had Lamar and Burrow in front of him. So at least you could make
I think
that
you
argument.
could have Josh Allen third. I think that's
believable.
totally
Yeah.
believable. It is not believable
No.
at all that Lamar Jackson, first of all, Lamar Jackson should have been first. Otherwise, he should be second. And Dan Orlovsky, and I wonder if we can get this clip. It's Dove tweeted it out, but he's on Get Up today, and he explains why he voted Josh Allen as the MVP and voted for Lamar Jackson as the first-team All-Pro quarterback.
See, I don't. So what's his thing?
I don't know. I just see him talking.
I would tell you that to me is a cop-out. That they tried to have their cake and eat it too. There are two great players this year, and I can make an argument for either one of them.
What was that? You have it?
Yeah, I have the 2-minute clip up right in front of me right now.
All right, hold that
if you
just
want
for a
it.
second.
Hold it for a second.
I think what they and we'll hear what Orlovsky had to say on this. So I haven't heard this. We're just seeing it on social. I think what they tried to do is have their cake and eat it too. You get to be the first-team All-Pro quarterback. You are the MVP. My problem with that is essentially what you're doing is you're acknowledging that Lamar should have been the MVP.
Yep.
Is what you're doing. Now, I'm totally fine with Josh winning it. He is more deserving than ever. I think the fact that Lamar has 2 already and everybody else that has 3 has already won championships, and in many instances multiple championships, in order to be in the 3 MVP club. It's kind of like what happened with Shaq and Kobe. It's kind of like what happened with LeBron. Like LeBron hasn't won an MVP in forever. The idea that the 4 years he was here with some of those rosters the second time around didn't win an MVP is ridiculous. And so I think it's like you've won enough. You have the same amount of MVPs as Mahomes. He's got 3 Super Bowls. You don't have it. You never even played in one. So they're kind of gatekeeping him a little bit. And I think if they had it back, they probably wish they wouldn't have given him maybe the second one
last
year.
So
they could have given him this one.
Here's the thing. Okay, so this is what I think he's going to say. Nobody played the quarterback position better than Lamar Jackson this year.
You're right.
Josh Allen had a lesser supporting cast, and so he was thus more valuable to his team than Lamar was. Now, it's malarkey. Here's the other thing. The MVP vote should actually happen in isolation. It should be who was the most valuable player in 2024. And if Lamar Jackson had won 0 MVPs prior to this year, he wins this one, I bet, unanimously. Maybe not unanimously, but he wins.
I think he would have won.
If he had 0 going into the season, he wins MVP this year.
And he had
for
that
sure.
year, he would have. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think the thing that hurt him is the same thing, and part of the reason
it's exactly
it's Derrick Henry, and it's that he'd won a bunch of other ones, and
that's it.
It's all that. He'd won 2, and they didn't want him. It's like you can't have him winning a 3rd before he played in a Super Bowl.
We said that in the middle of the season, 100%. So if he had 0, he wins it. I have no doubt in my mind. I also think that it's becoming, to your point, a little bit like the Academy Awards.
Yeah.
This is, Josh Allen, you've been really good. You've been one of the best in the league for this long. You haven't won it yet. Here you go.
That happens in the NBA all the time.
Which still makes,
how could he not have an MVP?
Which makes Steve Nash winning. Didn't he win?
Steve Nash has as many MVPs by himself as Shaq and Kobe have combined.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. And I love Nash.
So of course,
love him.
Santa Clara.
Absolutely absurd.
Yeah, absurd
that he would have
Yep.
more MVPs than Shaq and Kobe combined. So yeah, I think it is that. I think it kind of stinks that. But at the same time, like Allen probably could have won it last year. I mean, who knows? Like I'm totally fine with him being the one who wins it. I just think that it's a flaw in the system, and I think that they basically tried to course correct by giving Lamar too many too quick.
Yep.
And it's like, boy, you got to get to a Super Bowl before we're going to get one of these. And that's just it, because the guys who have 3 have all won Super Bowls. And I think Rodgers is the only one, if memory serves. I think Rodgers is the only – well, no, Jim Brown too. Rodgers and Jim Brown are the only guys to have won MVP and only have won 1 championship. Because Jim just got the 1, right?
Jim Brown?
Jim Brown, does he have the 1 championship for us in the 60s? Or does he have –
Did they win?
Well, that's the auto years, right? Sometimes those years skew for me.
I think many.
Many? Yeah. So that's so either way, Rodgers the only one with one Super Bowl.
So he's a one-time NFL champ.
64.
64.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
So I did have that right.
You did.
So that just one-time NFL champion.
But that's also because of the
AFL, NFL, all of that. Right.
Yes.
But Rodgers is the only one with one Super Bowl. Everybody else has won multiple
Yep.
Super Bowls that have multiple MVPs.
Yep.
So that's the thing that's a little tricky. Like, Joe's got 3 or 2.
Montana?
Yeah, is he 3?
Super Bowls?
He's got no MVPs. Joe's got 3 MVPs,
Yeah.
so he's got the same as Brady.
Yeah.
They both have 3. Yeah, but that's the category you start to get into is that it's just impossible to. That's it. They just need to see him win an MVP. So let's hear from Orlovsky because he was.
Joe's a 2-time MVP, 3-time Super Bowl MVP.
So I had that right too.
Yeah.
2 for Joe.
2.
All right. Let's hear from Orlovsky, who did exactly what we said they did. He voted first team All-Pro, Lamar, MVP, Josh. Here's Orlovsky.
For Lamar's first team for first team All Pro.
And you voted for Josh MVP?
Yeah.
Okay, so then explain
There you
it to
go.
me.
Because I
How
think
did
Josh
you
was
differentiate those things?
The value that the player brought to their football team. The Bills were the number 2 seed. Josh had a 40 touchdown, 8 turnover, 14 sack season. The Bills didn't have an elite defense. The Bills had a very good run game, not a great run game. They didn't have elite perimeter players in any regard. The way that Josh played this season and the different style that he played brought tremendous value to their football team. Lamar's season was absolutely sensational. He was probably the best player in football this year, or Jamar Chase, or Saquon Barkley. But value and how much you impact your team, who you do it with, and who you do it against, that's where I thought Josh Allen had the upper hand.
Interesting. We disagree on this side of the table.
Did he say most valuable player for his team? Is this MVP of the league or of the Bills?
Oh, gosh. So, I mean, I think I'm glad that we have Dan here to defend him and the people who did this, but it does feel like you're trying to split the baby. Like, you don't got the heart to say what you actually want to say. I think both of them had MVP caliber seasons, but it feels like you are trying to find some little semantics trapdoors. So you can give this to him and that to them because you don't actually want to say what you really want to say.
Which is what?
Dom, I always
Lamar
say what I
Jackson
want to say.
had the best season this year. And maybe you could argue
But that's
that
not the award, Dom.
See, this is the semantics foolishness that we do. This is what you do. You say value. And the cool thing about value, it gives us on these shows a way to argue because you can twist it and turn it any way you want. Normally, MVP means who's the best damn dude in the league.
Yeah.
And it, to me, obviously, Josh Allen had an MVP caliber season. But the best damn dude in the league this year was the guy who was first team All-Pro.
All right, there you go.
It is exactly what we said he was going to say, and I think that they're exactly right. I think that Lamar Jackson is the MVP of the league. I don't think Lamar Jackson goes on to Buffalo. Are they better? I don't know. Josh Allen goes on to Baltimore. Are they better? Probably not.
I think they both would be great.
They're
in either
both
spot.
great.
They're really. That's why, to me,
They're
like
both
I'm not
great.
that fired up about it because
No.
I don't care that much. I think Allen is a very worthy MVP. I think Lamar had the most statistically amazing season a quarterback ever had. I would also acknowledge that his group is a lot better than Allen's to play with. His offensive group is. He's got more weapons. There's not a whole lot in Buffalo. It's pretty thin.
So he's got. So Zay Flowers, who made the Pro Bowl over Brian Thomas, which is inexplicable, but he does that. He had a 1,000-yard receiver.
He's got Bateman, Flowers.
Bateman, though, had not prior
But he was
to
good this
year.
year. He was good this year.
Maybe because Lamar was the best passer he's ever been.
Mark Andrews,
Andrews
and
is
then
solid.
and then you have Henry, who was a
Henry.
beast. So
Right.
like Henry on his own, like is James Cook's not in the vicinity of that. And then the same I would
but
say
surprisingly productive.
he is, yeah. But no one would argue that you would
No,
if you
of
were
course.
given. If you're given Baltimore's operation or the Bills, you'd take they're both really close. It's not something that I care that passionately about. I think I'm fine with Josh winning it. Lamar just had the best season statistically anyone's ever had.
I just think it would be cool if somebody came out and said, look, the fact of the matter is to get to be a 3-time MVP, you've got to do something great in the postseason. So you've got Peyton Manning 5 times. Super Bowl champ.
Let me see if I can get them all. How many are there total?
That have what?
More than 3.
3 or more?
3 or more.
6.
All right. Peyton,
Yep.
Tom,
Yep.
Rogers. I
Yep.
think Rogers has 4.
Yep,
Memory
he does.
Serves. Manning
Yep.
has 5.
Correct.
Jim Brown,
Yep.
Johnny U.
Yep.
It's 5. Joe. No, Joe's 2.
Joe's 2.
Joe's 2.
Here, I'll give you the 2s. 2s are Joe, some crud, Kurt Warner, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson.
Brett Favre's got 3 or more.
That's it.
So I've got Favre. Am I missing one?
No, you have them all. Peyton, Rodgers,
Tom.
Brown, Unitas, Favre, Brady. Brady won 7
No, Brady didn't win 7.
Super Bowls.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Favre's won a Super Bowl.
Rogers won a Super Bowl. Rogers and Favre have both won 1. Jim's won 1.
Jim Brown won. Unitas.
3 championships.
Peyton.
Peyton 2.
2.
And Brady 7. That's it. That's the list.
That's the
so
list.
I think that's just the reality of it.
I mean, the reality is Joe Montana should have been MVP more than he was. That's
Yeah, probably
that's
true.
the big takeaway.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's pretty amazing. And LeBron has not won an MVP he didn't win one since 2013.
That's wild.
Like none.
That's craziness.
in his second tenure here, which is absolutely crazy. I didn't have any big issue. I don't know about comeback player of the year with Burrow. Like I don't know that. So then every great quarterback who gets injured the year
was
before,
not pleased to have won that award.
No,
either.
I bet he wasn't.
When he accepted it, it was like I don't like.
What is it with him and Denzel not wearing shirts under their suits? I saw both those guys sans shirts underneath suits.
I don't know what that's about.
Double-breasted outfits with no shirts underneath. I agree with him. I'm sure he had no interest to win
Yep.
it. You know, like that's not the one he came there to win.
No.
But I don't think he thought he was going to win anything. I think he just showed
Could
up
have
for
won
the party.
Offensive Player of the Year. Here's what's wild about that one to me. Like Joe Burrow in 2023 still played 10 games. It's not like
That's my point.
he went out like
this
week
isn't
1.
No.
He went on 10th game. And he went out, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't it like a wrist thing? Wrist elbow?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't a shredded knee.
Right.
I mean, in all fairness, our guy won it last year coming off the couch.
Well, right. That's what I'm
He
saying.
played the month of December.
Yeah.
the guy that should have won it was Sam Darnold. And people are saying, well, DeMar Hamlin, if he doesn't win it, DeMar Hamlin should have won it the year
last
before.
year, yeah.
He should have beaten Flacco. But Sam Darnold played one meaningless game in 2023. One. Like, that is the comeback story.
Yes.
Sam Darnold, prior to this season, in 6 seasons, had won 19 games as a starter. I'm sorry, had won 21 games as a starter. He won 14 this year.
Yep.
That's a comeback.
That's a comeback, baby.
Total.
All right.
He should have won that one.
Fascinating discussion on RBS that I was listening to on my way in here. Aaron was talking with Tony, and Emmett was on, and they were discussing the Hall of Fame selection process. And something that I was unaware of, Tony has been doing this for 30 years, something I was unaware of was that they had changed the selection process to make it much more difficult for folks to get in. And Tone said that this kind of started with Coach Prime. So you have this list here?
I do. It's in our third segment, but that's okay.
Oh, I just saw this Hall of Fame class at the end. You want it? We're up against it, so we
No,
can
no,
save
it's
it if you
okay.
want.
We can talk right through. We can talk through it right now.
Okay.
That's fine. But he
here
explained
it
it here. Yeah, we copied and pasted his article for you, so that way you know. Because I didn't realize all the different rules that had happened as well.
So the big takeaway regarding the voting: 15 modern era candidates reduced to 10 on the first vote. Not making the cut were Eli Mann. I mean, a bunch of guys didn't make the cut. What's the part that I was interested in? Each of the finals was introduced by a presenter. We knew that, Mart. The part that I was referring to rather was the idea that it had changed, that it is much harder now to get in terms of. Yeah, he was saying it was much harder to get in now. That Deion Sanders made those comments like 3 years ago saying, like, this isn't the Hall of Fame, it's the Hall of Very Good, and we're letting too many guys in. It was right after the Centennial class and all of that. And Tone said that they'd been given new instructions to work with on their vote. And so because of that, less and less guys got in. So example, like Mike Holmgren didn't get in because he was going up against other players who were trying to get in kind of at the end of the line, like one who did in Eric Allen. So it's Jared Allen, defensive end, primarily with Minnesota. Sterling Sharp, who I am old enough to remember vividly, had an 8-year career where he was exceptional, but it was cut short with injury. Eric Allen, who's in his 19th time on the ballot, and then Antonio Gates gets in as well. Gates seems
Gates automatic.
Walk in automatically. I was shocked Kuechly didn't get in on first ballot. That kind of shocked me. I know a lot of the attention is on Eli Manning.
Luke Kuechly was
not
a
getting
5-time All-Pro in 8 seasons. He was a 7-time Pro Bowler in 8 seasons. In fact, let me take that back. His first year in the league, he was the Defensive Rookie of the Year, was not a Pro Bowler, was not an All-Pro, first or second team, despite leading the NFL to 164 tackles. Every season from that, he was either first or second team All-Pro and a Pro Bowler. And in fact, in 2013, his second year in the league, he was the Defensive Player of the Year. So you're talking about somebody who's got an 8-season career. He has 5 first-team All-Pros, 2 second-team All-Pros. He's a Defensive Rookie of the Year, a Defensive Player of the Year, and a 7-time Pro Bowler. And he's not in. He should have been automatic first ballot.
Yeah,
automatic first ballot.
Yeah, I think it's crazy that
it makes no sense.
He did not get on the first ballot. Is absolutely wild. Sterling Sharp is an interesting case. Led the NFL in receiving a couple of years. If you're our age, like that is right when football cards really started to become. You could get him anywhere, and he was one of those guys that you looked on the back of the card and you're like, wow, bold. He led the NFL in receiving with Don Majkowski in Green Bay, and he was unbelievable. And then the career just got cut really short, and he was not able to continue. I think just 8 years.
He averaged basically 1,100 yards and 9 touchdowns a season for his career. He was a 5-time Pro Bowler, a 3-time first-team All-Pro. Thrice led the league in receptions, once led the league in receiving yards, twice led the league in receiving touchdowns, including his final season in 1994 when he had 18 touchdowns to lead the league.
In 94, it was found he had a neck abnormality that needed surgery as he had looseness in the top 2 vertebrae in his neck. He had stinger injuries against Atlanta and Tampa. He had the surgery, never returned to football.
And then he was a fixture on ESPN for years.
Yeah.
He should be in. He should be in.
Yeah.
The one to me that is a bit of a stretch.
Well, it's more than a bit.
Is Eric Allen. 1-time first-team All-Pro, 2-time second-team All-Pro in a 14-year career, and in fact doesn't make a Pro Bowl or anything in his last 6 seasons in the league. Never led the league in interceptions. Was obviously... He was very good, don't get me wrong. He had a very good stretch to start his career with Philly and then into New Orleans, where he was a Pro Bowler in 6 of his first 8 seasons, 1 first-team All-Pro, 2 second-team All-Pros. That's good. It is very good. I don't think that is the Hall of Fame.
I agree.
He's not more deserving than Luke Kuechly. I mean,
he definitely is not more deserving.
He's
than
not.
Luke Kuechly.
Gates, of course, should have been a first ballot.
Yeah.
8-time Pro Bowler, 3-time first-team All-Pro, 2 more time second-team All-Pro. He was doing things at a time when nobody was doing what he was doing. It was just him and like Tony Gonzalez, right? Where those were the tight ends, both in the same division. He should be in as well. Eric Allen is a surprising one.
The good news is we'll have a Hall of Fame voter on at 2 o'clock today.
Oh, well, we'll be able to ask the general.
Jared Allen.
John McClain, we'll be able to ask him.
4-time first-team All-Pro, multiple time led the league in sacks. Got no problem with that.
Eli?
So, Eli, if this award is about your regular season career, Eli's not in. The only thing that Eli Manning's ever led the league in is interceptions, and he did that 3 times. Never a first or a second-team All-Pro. But the fact of the matter is he is a 2-time Super Bowl champion and a 2-time Super Bowl MVP, and he beat arguably the greatest team in NFL history.
Yes, and he beat the dynasty twice, and it was on his arm that they did it.
Yes.
It was his throws who did it. I wonder how he compares favorably to to Troy Aikman, who's the most dubious of the Hall of Fame guys, quarterbacks. He's a 3-time Super Bowl champion, to Manning's twice, but I think Aikman is only Super Bowl MVP once. In fact, the list of people who are the only other players who have won Super Bowl MVP more than twice, Montana, third. Mahomes can be the second, third if he wins another one. So Montana and Mahomes have been 3-time Super Bowl MVPs. The only other guys who have won 2 or more Super Bowl MVPs are Terry Bradshaw, Eli Manning, and Bart Starr. That's it. That's the list.
I think Eli will get in, and I think he should get in. But he also Aikman, and it's so hard to look at the stats and the numbers. It's
Game
not
is so different.
So different. But Aikman, never a first or second team All-Pro either. It's the Super Bowls that got him in. Eli's numbers are actually better than Aikman's touchdown, interception, rate, all of those things. Eli Manning, though,
he's a 500 quarterback, right? Is that what it amounts to? Like his career record's like 500 even?
Yes. Eli Manning, in the era in which he played, if you did like an ultimate roster, and we're talking 3 quarterbacks on each team, he's not even in that game.
Oh, no.
But so, like, if you're not even in the game of your era, how can you be in the Hall of Fame?
No, I agree. But I don't know that Aikman is either in his era. I mean, that's the end of Elway. That's the end of Elway and Marino. The only thing he benefits from is he's kind of on his own. Like, he's kind of the same time as Favre. Aikman's career kind of peters out as Favre's is taking off.
Aikman won 1 Super Bowl MVP, 6-time Pro Bowler, 3-time Super Bowl champ, at 1 Walter Payton Man of the Year.
I mean, I get it. He's the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. But if they,
that's it.
That it's just not a great candidacy compared. So I think Eli will get in too, though. Eventually, it'll all be made right on that side of things. All right, we will. We got a lot of fun your way. We'll do some stuff with some props. Is the G-Man working on some props? He's on it. God bless him. You have that to look forward to, which is nice.
He's got a complete list of everything.
Of course he
for the
does.
2 o'clock.
Of course he does. All right, we're off and running on the final Football Friday of the year. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Add more fun from your fan with the Bally Bet Sportsbook app. Download today and get $50 in bonus bets. You place your first wager of $10 or more. Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Brian Diardo from CBS Sports ranks the 20 best Super Bowl quarterbacks of all time. He does say that Patrick Mahomes is closing in on Joe Montana.
This list stinks. It's awful. It's
horrible.
It's
horrible.
Putrid.
He's got braces, by the way. Did I tell you that?
I know.
So he
How's
was
he
all
doing?
excited last night. He was excited. He's a big smiley grin, all of it.
Yeah.
Was jacked up to be sucking down smoothies and mac and cheese, which is all he ever wants to eat anyway. And then middle of the night, pain.
Wait, was this the youngest?
Boots. Yeah.
He's in braces?
Yeah. We got a lot of reconstructive to do. He had like perfect baby teeth, but he got bombed by the adult teeth. So we got to do 2 runs
already.
of them.
That's crazy.
Well, 2, yeah, because NBC's in him. He's 13, so that's more the normal time to get him. But no, yeah. So it's horrible. It's horrible, Dad.
Right.
It's horrible. He looked at me
I
this
need
morning.
the
He's
day
going
off
like
of school
this,
because of this.
and he's grabbing them like this. I just want these off. Just want them off, Dad. You can't.
No, and
Gotta
every
live with
time you have to go in to have them tightened,
Sucks.
you go through this process all over again, or when they have to change out
Yeah.
a couple. God forbid he wants colors. 80 went through that phase.
Yeah.
I was like, what exactly am I paying for here?
What are we doing? Yeah, my wife goes, the orthodontist gave us $150 off. I said, we have 2 kids in braces. I bet they did.
Yeah.
I bet they did.
Congratulations.
Give us $150 off. I'm going to tell you what my problem was with this list. Peyton Manning should not be 7th. Peyton Manning won 2 Super Bowls. He was a caretaker at best in the last one. And we've said many times, he's the best regular season quarterback in the history of the league. Like, he's absolutely in the ultimate game. He's one of the quarterbacks in a 2-deep. But he's just, as a Super Bowl quarterback, he's not great.
Nope.
Their one win is against Chicago when Devin Hester, that's against Rex Grossman.
In what might as well have been a tropical storm.
That was absolutely a tropical storm. And if memory serves, he threw a costly pick in the one against the Saints when Sean Payton kicked the onside kick. I think I have
You
that.
said Tracy Porter.
Yeah.
Picked it off.
Yeah, really costly
job,
pick.
Jimmy.
So he's got Manning 7th on this. That's too high. Quite honestly, Eli Manning is a better Super Bowl quarterback than Peyton. Hot take.
Yeah.
There's your hot take of the day.
He is.
It's not wrong.
Eli was better in the Super Bowls than Peyton was.
Not wrong.
If we're just doing it on how they played in the Super Bowls, then Manning cannot be 7th on this list.
No, let's just start at the top where we have a real problem.
So obviously, you can't argue Tom not being 1.
Yes, I can. Watch me.
Go ahead. Good luck.
When
How many has he got?
Is he putting?
He's trying to put Montana ahead of Brady. Go ahead.
This is the Super Bowl quarterback.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm just going to present player
Hey,
A,
B-Man,
player
this
B.
is exactly what I told you
Go
was
ahead.
going to happen when you said you found this.
Player
I
A,
love
player
it.
B. Player A.
Yep.
100% winning percentage.
That's 100% good.
Never lost.
Never lost.
Never lost.
Never lost.
Never lost. Here's another way to look at it. He's 4-0.
Yep.
Tom Brady winning percentage, 70%.
Still good.
Give him 4-0. Do you know what he is in the other 6? Do you know what he is in the other 6 games if you give him a 4-0?
Yeah, 3-3.
3-3. 3-time Super Bowl MVP.
Yep.
Joe Montana. I believe Brady is a 5-time Super Bowl MVP. So you could say advantage to him, but my question is,
5 is more than 3. 5 is more than 3. Mr. Zagura. Yeah.
let's do it another way.
Do it another way. Yeah.
Tom Brady.
Is 7 more than 4.
Tom Brady is the MVP in 50% of the Super Bowls in which he played in.
Yep.
Joe Montana is the MVP in 75% of the Super Bowls that he
That's
played
true.
in.
That's true. Yeah.
In 4 Super Bowl appearances, Joe Montana threw 11 touchdown passes and 0 interceptions.
He was incredible in the Super Bowl. He was incredible.
Not a single interception.
Not one.
So you're going to say, if you were in a Super Bowl, we're judging just on Super Bowls, you've got a quarterback who's never lost.
Never lost.
He's a MVP 75% of his appearances.
Yep.
He has a perfect 11-0 touchdown interception ratio. And you can say, oh, it's skewed. He has a 100 or more quarterback rating in every single one of those Super Bowls.
Yep.
Check, 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 check. All 4 of them. Game-winning drives in 2 of them.
Yeah. Eli Manning might be better than Joe by your criteria.
That's 2. That's only 2 games.
But 2 for 2. 100%.
No,
a percentage of 100 on Super Bowl MVPs.
It is.
He's 100% of the Super Bowls he's been is he's won, and 100% of the Super Bowls he's been and he's won the MVP.
That part, one of those, I give you an advantage,
in that instance,
which is the 100% MVP.
Eli Manning maybe ought to go at the top of the list.
Hold on.
Bart Starr.
I can do you all one better.
What
about
He's
Bart Starr?
undefeated. He's never thrown a pick in the Super Bowl, and he has a Super Bowl MVP. Let me introduce you to Steve Young.
Oh, my. Oh.
One? No. By the way, Eli Manning, hold on.
Hold on.
100%.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Eli Manning has thrown an interception in the Super Bowl, and his aggregate quarterback rating in the Super Bowl is 94. What are we talking about? Why are you wasting my time with this nonsense? The only possible person that you could mention is Brady, but the fact of the matter is this. Tom Brady does not have the same level of excellence that Joseph Montana has when it comes to performance just in the Super Bowl alone. He doesn't. I'm sorry. I know people don't like it. They don't want to hear it. Too bad. Listen up, because as The Rock would say, I'm dropping gospel on you right now. Tom Brady's first Super Bowl, 145 yards, 1 touchdown, 86 rating.
Game-winning drive in that.
2017, big whoop. How about later on in his career against the Rams? Let me blow you away with some numbers. You ready to get blown away?
Later on in his
career. You want to get blown away?
I'm going to skip over 4 Super Bowl wins, and we're going to go to this one that's down
262, no touchdowns, a pick, and a 71 rating.
We're going to go from the first one to like the 6th.
No. I could go right through them all. Carolina, 355, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick already in his second game throwing picks, 100 rating. Philly, he wins 236 and 210 rating. Solid. Giants 266 and 1. They lose 82 rating.
Yep.
Lose. Giants lose again. Throws a pick 91 rating. I mean, is this 2 picks in a game against Seattle that they win only because of the fact that they don't run the ball to Marshawn? Here's the reality. Joe Montana 4-0 all on his own. Yeah. And when he needed to do it, hold on. When he needed to do it,
to throw to.
He did. He had some very good players. He leads the drives.
No talent.
Hold on a second. Hear me out. Seattle, if they hand the ball to Marshawn Lynch, now he's 6-4.
In all honesty, I know.
Atlanta 5-5. 28-3.
What if the 49ers actually had to play real teams in the Super Bowl? The AFC was a clown show.
So hold on a second. You're telling me John Elway, Dan Marino?
That's what I'm telling you.
Boomer Esiason?
Go look at the average score of the Super Bowls from about 1985 to about 1996. Beat down Central.
Because the Niners when they beat
did the Bears, so did the Giants. All those teams won huge. The Giants had one competitive game in the Super Bowl. The Dallas Cowboys only have one competitive game in 3 Super Bowls.
The Denver Broncos team that went to the Super Bowl that year beat the Browns.
I knew you were going to go here, yeah.
Which was considered to be a very good team. This Broncos team was a very good team, and they got beat 55-10. Joe Montana threw 5 touchdowns and set a record at that point.
And what was the score the next time that they played in the Super Bowl, that Denver team?
Not 55-10. It
was a beatdown.
But not 55-10.
No, it wasn't.
I don't know.
It was one that was 55-10. Was there one that was close? Was there one?
That was at Bill Tisdale's house, 55-10. In New Orleans. There
was one kick.
Was it?
That was in New Orleans, too?
That game was in New Orleans.
So 85 was in New Orleans. The Bears-Patriots was New Orleans in 85. So New Orleans had the Super Bowl like every 5 years?
Yeah. By the way, can I throw another thing at you right here that people maybe don't understand?
I tuned you out a while ago, but go ahead.
Because you didn't need to keep hearing it.
G-Man loved that. You big fan of that one?
Well, at some point, it's like when you've made such a good case, I don't need to hear it anymore. You're bought in.
I think it was the Eli Manning. I think it was the Eli Manning one.
Yeah, but it didn't hold water.
But it's 100%.
Didn't hold water. Once he
100% winner, 100% Super Bowl MVP.
Joe, hold on. So Joe has record you could call a wash, although I think 4-0 is better than 2-0. Would you agree with that? So he's better than him.
100% is 100%.
So he's got that on the MVP. So 1 check for Eli.
Yeah.
Thrown interceptions. Nope. Check for Joe. And also doesn't have a 100 quarterback rating.
I'm not really
game.
trying to argue that Eli Manning's a better Super Bowl quarterback.
Exactly.
I do think that Brady is. But
here's another fact
Brady's
for you.
Accomplished. Joe is incredible.
Joe Montana. How about this? When he battled Dan Marino in 1984, threw for 331 yards, 3 touchdowns, while also running for think about how the game has changed, a then Super Bowl record 59 yards. Is there anything he couldn't do? No.
Really?
Yeah. You know what? Lose.
That's all
Tom Brady could lose 3 times.
He did lose 3 times. I want to see.
What are we doing here?
Where we go?
Put some respect on Joe Montana's name.
He's second.
It's outrageous.
to a guy who won 7 Super Bowls.
Lost
Yeah.
3 times. 70% winner.
Yeah. The
Hold on.
50%
Hold on.
MVP.
1-7 went to 10.
Yeah,
That's not what
Never
we're
get
talking
touched.
about. We're not talking
Here's,
about who's got a better playoff career. We're talking about who's better in the Super Bowl, and the best player to ever play in a Super Bowl is Joe Montana.
Here's your I was trying to think. Okay, so I
G-Man
said
says Trey Burton.
starting in 85.
Okay, yes.
So 84 season. This is the score of it, just for the kids out there who don't understand what the Super Bowl was like in that time and want to get all worried up about what the AFC was not. All right, starting with the 84 season, 85 Super Bowl, Niners 38, Dolphins 16. Bears 46, Patriots 10. Giants 39, Broncos 20. Redskins 42, Broncos 10. Look at those and I'm going to get to another Broncos one in a second. The 3 times Elway played for the Super Bowl, 39-20, 42-10. A close one, San Francisco over Cincinnati, 20-16. Then back to the blowout city, 55-10, Niners over Broncos. 20-19, Giants over Bills. Then 37-24, Redskins over Bills. 52-17, Cowboys over Bills. 30-13, Cowboys over Bills. 49ers 49, Chargers 26. Cowboys over Steelers 27-17, Packers over Patriots 35-21. There were 2 good games in 12 Super Bowls. 2 good games. It was beatdown central. So now we're in this era. I mean, when we were kids, when
3 straight field goal games.
When the 3 of us were kids, like formidable years, junior high, high school, that type of stuff, the Super Bowl was
the NFC
a beatdown.
Championship.
Yes, it was the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
It was the Niners, the Giants, the Redskins, the Cowboys, the Bears.
The Bears.
It was those teams, and the winner of that's the Super Bowl.
That's who won. Yep.
And those games were great. There weren't many of those that were blowouts. Most of those were really good games. But the Super Bowl for 12 years was a clown show.
Yep.
That's why it was so rare when you got the Norwood kick, because you just never got those. You never got close games.
Agreed.
Yeah, it is. And then it's been really competitive since. There haven't been. What's our last blowout? Was it the Bucks and the Bucks Chiefs? Was 31-9. That was the last real blowout. KC beat you guys 31-20, but it was
COVID.
closer than that.
You guys.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an ugly one. Was New England and the Rams 13-3? That's a brutal ball.
Tom Brady's
lot of the rest-
stats in that game stunk, bro.
I bet they did.
Terrible.
I bet
Did
they
he win?
He did.
He did.
okay.
By the way, there was I was just reading this. I don't know who
Denver,
said it.
Carolina was an ugly Super Bowl.
Who was on Todd Gurley said that
GG.
Todd Gurley said that after that game the Patriots told them that was the easiest that was the easiest X's and O's game that they ever played ever. He said the Rams made no adjustments. They knew everything they were doing before they were doing. So there was I think Belichick got in McVay's head and owned him.
Well, in watching that game, that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Because it didn't look like what they normally do.
No.
I mean, they were pretty high flying
Yeah.
that year, and they were not. We'll go around the league coming up next. Listen to Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of Cleveland Browns.
Joe Montana 1,
On
Brady 0.
850, ESPN Cleveland. OBM, the preferred provider of copiers and document services for your Cleveland Browns. They'll tackle any size office at 216-485-2000. Visit ohiobusinessmachines.com. We go around the league, presented by Leaf Filter, official gutter guard of your Cleveland Browns. The NFL will play a game in Dublin, Ireland next season. The Steelers are headed back as the home team. The NFL in 2026 will play a game in, we believe, Australia. We know Australia. It'll be the Rams, and we believe it to be Melbourne, I believe, which is exciting. I would love for it to be us.
We got some boots on the ground there that say that could be the case.
That's the one.
I want that game bad.
That's all our people are there.
Give me that.
There are people.
The
great Dabo.
We would be.
I think Dave's from Melbourne.
It would be like a coronation.
Oh my God, the world's team.
Yes, if we came there.
Come on.
I'm talking about Browns Daily. Would be.
That's what I'm saying. This program, we are the most Australian program in the whole league.
I think
there.
The G-Man would thrive there. Put another shrimp on the bobby.
He would absolutely thrive.
By the way,
oh my God, I'd get some Robert Williams
G-Man's
boots.
Dressed up today.
They had headshot day today. The youngins had headshots for the
He looks
combine.
fantastic. He looks great.
Oh God, he really is. He is dressed up.
The stash looks great. It looks like he may have taken that to a stylist. It looks like.
Yeah, it looks nice.
No, it's all natural. Well, G-Man's an
artist. G-Man.
He's an artist.
No, that's where we would go. I mean, we would watch the man from Snowy River on the flight and get all jacked up, ready to go.
Oh, I have a fun nugget for you.
Go ahead.
Do we have how much time do we have?
You got time.
We have about a minute, and then we're just going to need a break.
Okay. Well, I'll be quick then. So we were talking yesterday about your father's favorite program.
Yeah.
Which was, and then my dad.
Turned out your dad likes it as well.
Loves it as well. Yeah. I can tell you it. Hey, come on. Jim and Cheryl Donovan on Sunday nights. She said that was like their big date night. They would watch it.
Come on.
Have a little wine, and they had a friend who watched it. Then they'd call her afterwards, and they'd all break it down together. And I'm like, that's amazing.
I can't even mock my father anymore.
No,
it's the great. The Voice was listening.
The Voice was dialed
into that program.
Dialed in.
I didn't see that.
All
coming.
creatures great and small.
Yeah, they love. That was the quote. It's the best thing on TV as far as I'm concerned. That was the quote. All right.
Well, we've got
we got some. Look, you got
triangulation.
Yeah, but you've got one part of the triangle that is a little better than the other two.
By the way, real quick, since we're less than a minute, I just want to thank last night at the Greater Cleveland Sports Award. I want to thank the Greater Cleveland Sports Commission they named their Courage Award after Jim Donovan. I had the honor of kind of introducing that fact last night, which was very cool. And the young man who won the first one kind of reminded me of Nick Chubb. Tore his knee up, worked his butt off to come back. It was awesome. A very inspiring young man, and certainly very deserving of the honor. But it was a very cool thing last night, and Cheryl and Megan were in attendance, and it was great to see them and feel the kind of that love for Jim from the crowd and from everybody there last night. So that was really, really cool. And our own Chris Rose was the host.
Well, then you win.
Yeah, he did a great job.
He did no shock. That's all he does is great jobs.
That's right.
The General John McClain going to join us coming up next. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, welcome back in Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. We hit out on the Twisted Tea Hotline, presented by Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea, official sponsor of your Cleveland Browns. Keep it twisted, Cleveland. We continue our look around the AFC, in the AFC South, with the Houston Texans. And when we do that, we love to talk to the general, the great John McClain. He is a Houston media icon, among other things. Also a Hall of Fame voter for many, many years, and obviously familiar with Myles Garrett. But, John, we thank you so much for the time. I did want to start with the Hall of Fame and how the voting changed in terms of what you guys and how many you are allowed to vote for. And if memory serves, does this have – Deion Sanders kind of brought this to the forefront a few years ago, saying essentially there were some guys getting in who shouldn't be. Take it from there in terms of where we are now with the Hall of Fame versus where we were 3 or 4 years ago.
When I saw Deion say that we've been putting in too many and there should be an upper tier, and I said on my talk shows, well, if we have an upper tier and stopping the run is part of it, Deion would never get in. And so nothing was ever said by the Hall about any bylaws changing that have to do with Deion. But we have been putting in the maximum every year. And I like that because there's so many deserving candidates. But they changed the bylaws. They made it harder, especially for the candidates, 3 seniors, 1 contributor, and 1 coach. And so you have to get 80% of the votes. In the past, we voted yes or no on them. So we knew it was going to be more difficult. You know, I feel terrible for Mike Holmgren. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Obviously, he didn't get 80% of the vote. So of the 5 candidates in those 3 categories, senior, coach, and contributor, the only one that made it was receiver Sterling Sharp from the seniors. I was hoping Ralph A. founded the NFL in Canton that he would finally get in, but it didn't. Last time we had a class this small was 05. I've been on the committee for over 30 years, and that was Dan Marino, Steve Young, and then 2 guys from way back. That'd been Benny Friedman and Fritz Pollard. The only guy I know that covered them was Tony Grossi, and back when Tony had black hair. And so we're gonna. They didn't say it was permanent. They said we'd try it, and so there's only going to be 4. I wish there were more, and I can't wait to see what the Hall says about it continuing, go back to the way we did it, or possible other changes.
When you look at this class, and you mentioned that it's small, there are 2 people that did not get in that jump out to me immediately, and just curious your take on them. One would be Luke Kuechly, who in his career, while it was short, was as good as maybe anybody's ever been over that stretch. A defensive player of the year, defensive rookie of the year, all-pros, second-team all-pros, all of it. And then Adam Vinatieri, who would probably be considered by most to be the greatest kicker in the history of the game. Were you surprised that those 2 did not make it, and what kind of do you think kept them out?
Well, first of all, nobody says, I don't think this guy should go in there. We all know Adam Vinatieri is the greatest kicker in history, and he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. All you need is, 39 of us can vote for somebody, but if 11 others don't, then that person doesn't get 80%. And I know Vinatieri is going to get in, and I guess enough thought that they weren't going to put a kicker in on the first ballot. The only one who's ever gotten in, we only have 3 of them. That was Jon Stenerud, the first kicker. Ray Guy, our greatest punter, took him forever. As far as Luke Kuechly, I don't have any idea. Maybe it's because people didn't want to put him in on the first ballot. There is a great story by Clark Judge, a member of our committee. If you go on Twitter and say Clark Judge, and he has a Talk of Fame network. That's what he does. And he has a great story breaking down everything. And as he pointed out, Luke Kuechly's career was like Patrick Willis of the 49ers. Took Willis 3 or 4 years. So I always tell people, you don't get in because you don't deserve it. You deserve it or you wouldn't be a finalist. It's always always because they think the competition, there's somebody else deserving more. Think about Eric Allen. Eric Allen had been 18 years out. Sterling Sharp, his 20-year modern eligibility expired. He was a senior. And I feel like Mike Holmgren will get in as well. Mike Shanahan's another one that I think should be in a coach. But we on the committee are just as surprised as you guys are.
Were you surprised that Eric Allen did get in, only one first-team All-Pro in his entire career, never led the league in interceptions? Obviously, it was very good, but it's the Hall of Fame. It's the Hall of Greatness, you know?
He had more interceptions than a lot of guys in the Hall of Fame. And I'm surprised it took him so long.
Really?
Because he was a great cover corner who was also very physical. And so I was surprised he finally made it just because it had taken him so long. Jared Allen, one of the greatest pass rushers in history, he finally got in there. I voted for him every year because he's one of the top pass rushers in history, and I was happy for him as well.
Absolutely.
And we bypassed several guards. All of a sudden we decided, well, we better look at tackles, but Willie Anderson, who you guys watched with the Bengals all those years, one of the greatest right tackles in history. He's a finalist now. I can't remember how many years in a row, and he hasn't gotten in.
Yeah, it's tough, especially now
tough.
with smaller numbers. It's going to be really tough going forward. One guy who we assume will be a Hall of Famer as soon as his career is over, and probably is already Hall of Fame worthy, is our guy Myles Garrett. We discussed it a lot this week, obviously, John, and you've known Myles for a long time in terms of him growing up in your neck of the woods. We were trying to think if we can remember a player under contract, still multiple years on his contract, kind of doing the Super Bowl radio row and kind of saying, hey, come get me. We couldn't remember anything like that. Do you have a point of reference on that, and what were kind of your thoughts of Myles' week down in New Orleans?
I do not, and I think it's a bad strategy. Number one, the Browns are not trading one of the greatest players in franchise history. Now, they may call Nick Caserio and say, how would you like Myles Garrett for 3 ones and 3 lesser picks? Because Andrew Berry's been trying to help Houston get to the Super Bowl, and maybe this would put them over the top. But I'll tell you, there's no way they're trading Myles Garrett, no matter how much he wants to be traded. And it's not like they've been winning 0 in 1 game. You know, Stefanski's been Coach of the Year 2 times in the last 4 years. They beat the Steelers. You know, Myles, did he have a good game when the Texans humiliated them? I don't think so. So it's not like they're the dregs of the NFL like they used to be. So I don't get it. And I'll tell you this, there's no way Andrew Berry is trading Myles Garrett. And if he holds out, it'll cost him millions and millions that he cannot recoup.
That's pretty definitive right there from the general. We don't want him going anywhere either, so that certainly is music to our ears. You mentioned the Texans for the second straight year. They win the AFC South. They're a team that's they always find a way to get a win in the playoffs as well. What did you think of this season overall, and where do you kind of are you as confident in this team, let's say, coming out of this year as you were coming out of last year?
Yeah, because I know what the problem was. No matter what people think, and I saw every play of every game, they had one of the worst offensive lines I've ever seen. And they had, for the most part, the guys were healthy, and the only one who played well was left tackle Laramie Tunsil. And they fired the coach and promoted the assistant coach. And I'm like, that's like you're driving a getaway car on a bank robbery, but they keep you. And people here don't understand it, other than the fact that he coached at New England. So did the new offensive coordinator, Nick Caley. So did Shaplinski, a new offensive assistant. And I'm kind of tired of players coming here who worked with Nick Caserio in New England, the Patriot way we call it. But the problem with Stroud faced 2nd and 9 or longer 91 times. The only team that had more, the Browns. So he was put in terrible situations. They ran the ball a lot better, but they couldn't protect Stroud. He got hit so much, he started rushing his passes. He was off target. And so I feel that if this, not new coach, but Cole Proctor, who was promoted, can do something his predecessor didn't do, which is teach his players to pick up a stunt, that their offense will be prolific. Because Joe Mixon was outstanding after they got him for a seventh round pick. So that's the whole problem. Defense played really well. They went from a first place schedule to a fourth place schedule. No, fourth place to first place. Now they'll get first place again.
So in terms of off-season wish list, we've talked a little bit about the shakeup and where that goes in the faith and CJ going forward. What are holes they need to patch this off-season? What does their wish list look like? Free agency draft.
If it's anything in the first round other than an interior offensive lineman, they should all be fired. And I see some of these mock drafts having them take wide receivers. Why in the hell would you want a wide receiver? Nico Collins, 3rd round. Stephon Diggs, 5th round. Tank Dell, 3rd round. You don't need to use a receiver in the first round. They need to protect Stroud. I see some others having them take defensive tackle. Their defensive line was the strength of their defense and their team. So I believe they will take the best interior lineman when they pick in the first round, and then they'll get a wide receiver, a safety. They do have needs, but mainly they've got to do a better job of protecting Stroud, or they're just spinning their wheels and looking like a bunch of idiots that don't know what they're doing.
Is there any concern that because the Ope line play was so bad, obviously that led to Bobby Slowick's firing as well, who was, after the 23 season, people thought he was on the cusp of being a genius and maybe even becoming a head coach somewhere. Is there any concern that Stroud maybe might be a little shell-shocked coming out of what he experienced and developed some bad habits?
Well, he might have been, because he developed bad habits. And that's always something you worry about, of course. But he still made some great throws.
Oh, he's a stud.
In the playoffs the last 2 years. In that first round, the Browns and the Chargers, they averaged 35 points a game, and he looked great. He didn't go through any prolonged periods of inefficiency. It was off and on, usually under pressure. He had, I bet I could count, this is an exaggeration, on one hand, how many times he had a lot of time in the pocket to make throws. He was almost always having to throw on the run. He ran more this year than he ever has out of necessity or fear. I don't know. But C.J. Stroud is not the problem. He is the solution.
I agree with that. Yep, we agree.
Great talking to you, sir. As always, thank you so much for your time and your incredible knowledge on so many parts of the questions.
And his delivery of that knowledge.
This is a Hall of Famer. This is an all-timer, exactly. The General. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure, guys. Thank you very much.
That's amazing. That was one haymaker after another. The General. Yeah, look, they have what they have is at the number 2 pick in the draft, they took the quarterback. And then the quarterback validated them picking him with how he was as a rookie and even how he was this year under the circumstances that John so eloquently described. It's the same hope that the Washington football team now has because they took a quarterback at number 2. There's a corollary there.
Would you say that's in 2 consecutive years?
I would. I would. Okay. And I'd like to roll it back.
I got some pushback from some people just talking, backstage at the Greater Cleveland Sports Awards. There's no court. They don't even compare to the guys from last year.
How do you know?
That's what people say. That's what they're saying.
People say.
I think
they're all saying.
There is a much bigger danger in not taking a quarterback and having that player work out and change the fortunes of another franchise than there is in taking one and having it perhaps not work out. I mean, until you have the quarterback, you don't have anything. And we're going to have a lot of stuff for you next week. Shedeur has made such an impression on people at Radio Row and apparently in his interviews at the Shrine Game. Dion is making the rounds at Radio Row today as well. He is, we said it yesterday, he's both of our favorite guys. Cam Ward, again, the two of them, Sanders, I think maybe fits what we do a little bit better, but they're both excellent prospects who absolutely can turn franchises around. Absolutely. And so I think you have to take an opportunity on that. You've got to take an opportunity to try and make that happen. that's where you are. You have that opportunity. And to your point, Jaden Daniels, 2 this year to the AFC Championship. CJ Stroud's 2 the year before. He's won 2 playoff games in 2 seasons, won his division twice in 2 seasons.
It's never been less punitive.
Never been less punitive to miss.
Ever to miss.
And never been more rewarding to hit. And
No.
we still do have a lot of good pieces here that if you do hit, okay, we're ready to go. You still have an excellent offensive line. You still have the best edge rusher in the NFL. You still have an elite cornerback. You still have an opportunity. I think you get Nick Chubb back and in this draft to have a dominant run game. You got a Pro Bowl tight end. You got a Pro Bowl wide receiver. You've got, hopefully you get J.O.K. back, but you got a very good safety in Grant Delpit. You've got young pass rushers opposite Miles, and Isaiah McGuire showed a lot of promise. Alex Wright, who's shown promise. You've still got good guys on the interior, young Mike Hall with Dalvin Tomlinson. Like, you still have a lot of things on this football team that mean with a quarterback, you're ready to go.
Yeah. Looks good.
Looks real good. Real nice.
Looks real nice.
Yeah,
right
that
there.
looks nice. Real nice.
All right, there you go. All right, we'll do some have some fun with some Super Bowl props coming up next. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Ballybet. Official sports betting partner, your Cleveland Browns on 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, Elk and Elk, serious lawyers, serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO for a free case for you. Elk and Elk's proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. Before we get to the prop bets, we do have some fun with audio we want to share from you. This is all from the last couple of days. Let's start with Jameis. So Jameis is working at Fox Sports 1, and I've seen him like running a rickshaw.
Well, and Fox Sports just digital platform.
Yeah,
like,
he's
they
running
basically
amok.
are like, here's a camera, here's a mic, go live your best life for the week.
All right, so here's some samplings.
Jordan, what's up, brother?
Jameis.
Do you mind if I try an Australian accent?
I'd love you to, brother.
Okay, this is from the Crocodile Hunter. Jordan, there's no moment brighter than this moment besides you being Jalen Hurts' backside. Can you tell me what we all been waiting for? What is your favorite color?
What is your favorite colour? Brother, that was the worst Australian accent I've ever. The only word you got right was colour.
There wasn't a single
There
thing.
wasn't a single thing.
I happen to have a very good friend, very good friend of our program, the great Dabo, who, by the way, just got a new national show talking
very
about
exciting.
the footy, as they call it over there.
Oh.
Congrats, Dabo.
This footy?
No, I believe
Or
it's
soccer or rugby?
Rugby.
Rugby footy,
Yeah.
Brisbane Broncos, right? Wasn't that the nickname?
Yeah,
Wasn't that what they
the
were?
Broncos. Yeah. So I am quite familiar with the accent. Not even going to attempt to do it, but that Jameis talented at a great many things. Australian accent's not one of them.
That ain't it.
No, they're not it.
No,
That ain't it.
No.
He's been amazing. Him yelling next to Shad Khan's boat for someone to come out to let him in. He was like, I got my children with me. Do it for the children. Let me on the boat. Have you seen the boat, by the way? The
Yeah, I did.
$400
I don't know.
million yacht?
I don't know how he got it up the Mississippi River. I didn't think that was capable because New Orleans is not in the Gulf of Mexico.
Correct.
So, like, I did not realize. I knew they took like paddle boats because you see them in that they're always there in the Mississippi River. You see the paddle boats and all that, but I didn't know you could get a yacht up that.
Yeah. A yacht with 4 fireplaces, a basketball and pickleball court, 27 staffers. and
I did not have.
Well, you need
Pretty
4
full, so,
fireplaces. I mean,
I don't know. You're on the ocean.
Let's
You're in
be
the Caribbean.
serious.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
All right, and then we have Snoop. This was or we have one more Jameis.
One more.
Jameis with Flavor Flav.
Yes,
Oh, my
on the red carpet.
yeah, boy. See, that was
A 90-second competition. I'm going to give my best favorite impersonation. You give your best quarterback leadership impersonation starting now.
Hey, yo, check this out. When we get out there on that field, hey, yo, everybody got to run the plays correct. You know what I'm saying? And, hey, and not only that, but when I pass the ball, you got to catch it. When I hand the ball off, I just want you to run a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? On the strength. And you know what? We got this game in the bag, y'all. I'm telling you, all the defense got to do, just hold up. All the offense got to do is just make way for the quarterback.
Yeah, boy! You know it's your boy Jameis Winston right here. We coming live and local, and you know what time is? It's Jameis time. You already know. You better check my clock. You better start clocking me, dog. You know I'm the hottest man in the streets, the hottest man with the beat, the hottest man with the beat. Right here, Flavor Flav.
Can I ask you a question?
Please.
Did I do good?
You did great. you know I'm going for you. Flavor Flav.
All right,
He sounded a lot more like Chuck D to me.
I think he did sound more like Chuck D. I think Flav was a better
Nailed
quarterback.
it. Nailed it. Nailed it. When I throw it,
Go catch it.
you better catch
it.
Yeah, you got to catch
The idea that somebody went into a Hollywood office and said, I got an idea for a reality show. We're going to get a bunch of women, and they're all going to move into a house, and the prize, the eye of their affection, is Flavor Flav. And somebody went, you know what? That's brilliant.
Let's call it Flavor of Love.
Print it. It
And
is
you know what
the
this guy
greatest
said?
reality
I'm
TV
in.
show of all time.
Yep.
Yes.
Second is a billionth. It's not close. He didn't even bother to know their names. Do
Nope.
you remember this?
Oh, yeah.
Didn't need to.
Didn't need to.
They were fighting over.
He was the
spitting on each
prize.
other. My God.
He didn't need to know their names. He was the prize.
Oh my God!
That's how it works.
Incredible. All right, we have Snoop too.
Oh, yeah. Snoop hosted last
hosted.
night, NFL Honors.
All right, there you go. Let's listen.
Because I've been a football fan for a long, long time. I mean, I remember back when the Cowboys was good. I remember back when the Chiefs was bad. And I remember, what was it? Bill Belichick's girlfriend wasn't even born yet.
By the way, that's not that long ago.
No, not. She's 24, right?
Yeah. How about Uncle Bill last night on the red carpet? Yo, you don't want me? I'm going to bring. He had 7 rings and then gave the 8th one to his lady to.
She was wearing a Super Bowl ring.
I thought it was such a strange turn for him to do that.
Like it clearly bothers him.
It bothers
greatly.
him tremendously that he didn't get a chance.
Yep.
I think that he's trying to rewrite like the way that people feel about him because obviously it did not go well without Brady at all. And Brady covered up a lot of stuff, and all of a sudden Brady goes to Tampa and they win it. I think he's bugged by that. Like last week he was saying like, "Oh, we got to rename from the Lombardi, we got to name it the Brady Trophy." Like, I think he's trying to rewrite some history. I thought it was strange to show up with all the rings and stuff. Didn't you? It's odd. You're coaching North Carolina.
There's so much about it that is odd. And I thought he showed a great deal of affability and was fun on the Manning cast this year and all of it. I think that it's strange. Yeah. The whole thing is strange. It all feels like, and it's not midlife, but it gives the air of
it's late life
crisis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think he's going to find a similar thing when he college football next year. I think he's going to pretty rude awakening, him and Mike
smoked?
Lombardi. They're going to.
I mean, there are a lot of people who I know and who
They're not recruiting
respect
well. They're not in
a
the
great
portal well.
deal who are like, no, but you don't understand. He's going to run it like an NFL program. And you've been saying, like, what do you think is going on at Ohio State and Texas and Alabama?
They've been doing for 20 years.
But he would know this. He's talked to say, hey, we did that. This is what we're going to do. Were you doing this at Alabama? Oh, yeah, we've been doing that for a decade. We're going to have first-class training. I'll tell you what, from the video I watched last night at the Greater Cleveland Sports, there are high schools around here that have
go to Massillon.
NFL training facilities.
Yeah. No, there are. Fact. Yeah. All right, you ready for some props?
Let's do it.
You got this, Gibby?
I've highlighted mine.
Yeah, the G-Man went through it. We found some.
Let's do it.
We found some quality ones.
I was hoping for some, or maybe that'll be in the over/under. So baby. Oh yeah, it all comes down to this 1-game lead.
One game lead. Yep.
Let's go. Right. Whatever Gibby says, same. Hold on, Gibby. Please tell me. It wasn't low those many years ago. I want to say it was maybe 2 years ago. We were in a kind of a similar situation where I was up 1 or 2, and then you just took the same things as me and mathematically eliminated yourself before it was even the games were even played.
There's
in
a
the
good
finals.
chance.
That
great.
2 years ago. Yeah.
I think I've done this multiple times.
It's great.
There's a track record.
Do it again. Do it again.
Yep.
I like winning. I win in a tie, right? To be the man, you got to beat the man. We agree with that?
No.
Yeah, I think so. I think tie. Yeah, you
Champions prerogative. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I just hit somebody with champions prerogative this week.
Well, if the champions
One of the
prerogative,
practices.
Tom
You wanna
Brady's
hold my
number
phone? You
1
wanna
and
see my
Joe
phone? You wanna
Montana's
see my
number
phone?
2.
Oops, changed my mind. Yeah. Joe Montana's number 1 now. We've ended the debate. We've thrown that piece. It's in the garbage.
It's in the garbage. We've moved on.
We've moved on. It's
all
over.
done.
You're welcome. Joe, dude, forever. By the way, G-Man, important update time. Where are we with Jeff George?
It's Super Bowl week. Who knows?
Is your name G-Man?
I don't know that you even. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if you even want him on here.
I do want him on.
I don't know.
We've been through
I say
this.
buyer
The whole
beware.
legend.
That's fine.
Buyer
your
beware.
idol.
Okay, first of all, that's one thing when you encounter somebody like out in the wild and you're
like,
so
just
excited to meet
This
them.
man has a track record of not being the friendliest.
This guy right now, the pitch G-Man, and I know you're going to handle this with great skill and deftness.
Can't wait.
We're
till he
saying,
tells me he's
okay,
gotta
Jeff
borrow
George.
a vehicle to go pick him up.
I don't know if you know this or not.
Yeah.
But the host of award-winning Cleveland Browns
Yeah.
Daily, the most listened to show in the National Football League.
That's
True.
right.
True story.
Yep.
The color analyst of Cleveland Browns is maybe your biggest fan ever.
I don't think maybe. I guarantee you, the only people on this planet who love him more. There's only 2 people living the same, and that's you and Jason Whitlock. Like Whitlock loves him because he played with him in high school. So that's it. That's the list. It's you and him.
So
on
I
an
think he
island.
would be. I think he's
There's
going to be
nobody
like.
else who's doing it.
What interview is he going to walk into where it is going to be more fun
friendly.
and friendly than
Yeah.
this one?
If we get him on, I think you'll be a lot like Chris Farley interviewing Paul McCartney.
It's awesome.
That's what I think it's going to be. Do you remember that time with the Falcons when you threw for 470?
That was awesome.
It was awesome.
It was awesome.
It was awesome.
Do you remember when Chris Carter
remember
said
that?
he wouldn't play unless you were his quarterback, and then he still played? It was awesome. What he said was the sentiment was awesome.
It was awesome.
It was so awesome.
That's what it's going to be.
Oh my god, I'm going to wear a sport coat for that. Then.
It's unbelievable.
I need a
Full
tweed,
suit.
like a tweed.
You need a tweed. Like maybe get an Illinois orange tie.
Oh
like
my god,
orange and blue Illinois tie.
I have one.
I've
if you
got
need to
one.
borrow
Of course, he's got one.
I've got I have orange ties in every hue.
Orange
I
at the
work for the
wazoo.
Cleveland Browns.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead, Gibby.
Rapid fire because we're up against it.
Yep.
Coin toss result: heads or tails?
Tails.
Tails.
Okay, heads leads all time. How long will the national anthem be? The over/under is 120.5
I don't even know who's
seconds.
singing it. Over.
Over.
This is your time to shine.
John Baptiste is singing it. He's a New Orleans native. He's Juilliard trained. He can play like every instrument on the planet.
Correct.
If he wheels out a piano, it's definitely over. A cappella could be under, but I think if there's
At the
any sort of instrument.
2017 NBA All-Star game, he performed, and he had this piano interlude at the beginning that pushed it to 120.5.
Yeah, he's over. It's his hometown. It's his. This is
his moment.
He's brilliant too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Player or coach?
related
Will
to
a
Peter
player or
John
coach
Baptiste?
cry during the national anthem?
I don't know. No.
Yes.
Yes. Gatorade color: purple, orange, yellow, green, lime, blue, red, pink, clear water.
Red, pink.
I'm going to go purple. 2 of the 3 Super Bowls that the Chiefs have won have been purple.
What was the other?
Love the purple
Blue.
drink.
I'm going to say if we
Purple's
do get
the best Gatorade, I think. Purple and
Of course
orange.
it is. Yeah. If we get purple, though, it's well documented. You cannot make purple
Great
without
Gatorade
red
with a
and
bottle
blue.
of vodka.
So red wins.
A home run,
Yeah.
too.
Give me something with vodka.
What color will Tom Brady's tie be? Blue? They're in the order that
Most favorite?
yes.
I think he's going to go black. He's
I-
been doing that a lot.
I said, I'll say, I highlighted 2 of them: blue, gray, silver. What if it's a blue gray?
Could be a blue-gray.
First player to yell at a coach or teammate on the sideline. Your options are A.J. Brown, Travis Kelce, Xavier Worthy, Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, or the field.
So first, I have so many questions. I'm taking the field. What constitutes yelling? Because what was the playoff game we saw on like the opening kickoff? Some special teams guy comes over and pushes his coach and is yelling. But is
don't have an
happy
answer.
yelling?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm
how you
taking the
define
field.
it.
Some opening on the opening kickoff. If they run it out, there's gonna be a tackle, and
Yeah.
somebody's gonna come and yell at somebody on the sideline.
I don't think any of these players will yell at the coach.
No,
Will any player retire on the field after the game? Yes or
no,
No.
Will any player propose to a girlfriend on the field?
No.
no,
No Swifty?
No.
no. He's not doing it at the Super
He's
Bowl.
not going to
That's gonna
propose
be-
to the most famous woman on the planet at the Super Bowl.
That'll be
Why-
like a made-for-TV special
that
or
sounds
something.
perfect, actually.
He'll do that in
Break the
Tuscany.
That'll well, then again sell the
Yes,
engage
of
a
course.
proposal picture. Of
course.
this is
Yeah, it's gonna be
This
at
is
some
not going to be on a nationally
Ridiculous
televised
place in
yeah.
Italy or Croatia or something
Oh,
like that.
wow.
Some
Yeah,
gorgeous
yeah.
place. Yeah. Hawaii.
Will Andy
A red
Reid
keep.
say burger during an on-field interview?
Yes.
What was the question?
Will Andy Reid say burger during an on-field interview?
Because he's going to interview some of the local folks too, probably. So yeah, I think you will get a burger.
How many times will Taylor Swift be shown on the broadcast? The official number over/under is 6.5.
I think they're
Game
oversensitive to it,
broadcast.
so I think under.
That's what I took. Yep.
Which, by the way, that's so ridiculous. They've only been showing really famous people at sporting events forever.
Yes.
I mean, Lakers games, Knicks games, Rangers games.
Any major sports
How many
event.
times did you see LeBron James at the national championship game?
Last
this is
week's
what
Duke,
happens.
Duke North Carolina
way-
game.
By the way,
Right.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't know if you guys saw, there's a social media meltdown from a one-time nemesis of T Swift
I don't know.
today.
It
So
is. It was
I
a
made
one-time
All right.
nemesis.
I got one more. What happens
Kanye.
first once the game begins? Taylor Swift is shown on the broadcast, or Travis Kelce catches his first pass?
She's shown.
Kelsey.
She's
They're
shown
gonna-
on the
they're gonna
broadcast
throw it to
quick.
him.
I bet she's shown. She's shown before they even
Once,
kick.
no. This says once the game begins.
Once the game begins.
Oh, then Kelsey.
They're gonna
yeah.
throw a quick
Throw it
little
right
out to
away
him, and then
him and her.
Bingo.
Yep.
I like
There's
where
your
head's
prop
at.
bets.
I like where
All
your
right,
head's at.
We'll do a little over-unders coming up next. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, here we go. I don't know if it's ever been more important than what we're about to do in the history of this program. This is probably the most important 5-minute segment we've ever had.
It's not.
Yeah.
Can't say it isn't.
Here we go. Over-unders, Super Bowl. We played an entire regular season. You guys were tied in exactly 500.
And we split, by the way, the conference championships, right?
Yeah.
So we're still combined, just for the kids out there keeping track at home, 66 games over 500 this year. No big deal.
Oh, on that side of things.
Yep. Yep. No, this is over-unders. I'm up one.
Over-unders, yeah. Over-unders, you have a 1-game lead
Yep.
with the Super Bowl to play.
Yep.
And so you must go first. Saquon Barkley, rushing yards, over-under 115.5.
Hey, hold on. You can't change it once it's in.
No, it's in. It's in.
Because I can't have him going back going, well, I'm just going to do whatever he wants.
No, that's fair. He's going first.
This is a society.
There's rules.
There are rules.
There are rules.
I know.
I'm
You
a
might
man of
break them or find
I'm a man
loopholes.
of great decorum.
This
Stop
isn't
it.
the Hudson Middle School drop-off line where there are no rules or decorum.
Well, the Olmsted Falls drop-off line used to be the same way.
It's just ridiculous.
Sure it
anarchy.
hasn't.
There are rules here. Go ahead. 115.5.
I feel like that has to be the top priority for the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm sure it's been for everybody.
It's a big number.
It's a big number. I'm going to go under.
You say 115?
That's right.
Man, he screwed me over in the NFC Championship game. Like Mahomes, I will not be bid again. Over.
Oh, baby. And there we have it.
Next. Over, under.
Dallas Goedert receiving yards.
Ugh.
Over, under,
This is what you
Gibby.
picked?
He's yelling at G.
It's almost
He's
fireable.
yelling at G-Man. Poor G-Man.
It's a Super Bowl.
Dallas
damn
Goedert
it.
receiving yards. Over, under 51.5. Gibby.
Under.
Under.
I'll take under, too.
Segura. Under.
Next. Over, under.
All right, Dr. Z. Patrick Mahomes passing attempts. 29.5. Attempts. Mahomes. Patrick
Hold on one second.
Ricard. Mahomes.
Patrick Ricard. 29.5.
Yeah, that's right.
Under both games in the playoffs so far.
Mm-hmm.
Over.
I don't know that you can say that, Gibby.
I don't think you can at
Hit
all.
that dump button.
Already did.
Thank you.
Gibby, get
I'm always
the
ready.
FCC coming to Gibby.
Hold on. Can I, real question, because I was caught off guard real quickly. What was the Goddard total?
51.5.
Over.
Oh, you're going, oh, my God. Oh, baby. Over. All right. He went over 29.5. So you have two differences already.
See, he's already violated. He's
Well,
already
No,
changed
no,
it.
because you were saying change it to make it the same as yours.
No, he changed.
I actually
the
changed it
opposite.
to make it different.
He changed to make it different.
I'm going.
And I went
over
first.
on the Mahomes thing
Because that allows for you to go over on the Mahomes. All
yeah,
right. Next.
We got to do the same on that one.
Over, under.
Travis Kelce receptions over under Gibby 7.5.
Over. He thrives in this game.
All right. Only one in the last four. I think it was just Pittsburgh, maybe.
Yeah.
There was one game when he went over.
7.5.
7.5.
He's gone over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Once in the last 9 games under.
You went under? Oh, my God. This is unbelievable. This thing, we've never had anything like this. Next!
It's more fun. Like, I didn't
Over,
want to come down to one
under.
thing.
No, have it come on. We're not even remember who did what.
I know. That's going to be the best part.
All right.
On Monday.
Total points scored. Dr. Z, 48.5. $48.5.
That feels like a big number. I know their last Super Bowl went well over. These are good defenses, though.
This sucks. I hate you, Gabe.
G-Man.
Under.
Gibbe?
What'd he say?
He went under.
I'm over.
Oh, baby.
4 differences.
That's a lot. That's a lot going on.
Were you going over no matter what?
I was.
You were?
I have the over.
That's why I just assumed you were going to go over. I'm like, well, this puts me in a position that I don't want to be.
Can I switch that one back? Do I have the ability?
No, because he switched it.
All right, fine.
Yeah, you can't switch opposite to him. Now it's locked in.
Once
We have
it's
rules.
4 differences.
We have the rules. We have rules. This is going to be crazy. Do you want to do the? We'll do our score after this.
I need to go
On the
2
other
and
side
2,
of this
baby.
quiz timeout.
I need to
We'll
go
do
2 and 2.
More to come.
We'll do, including your official prediction out of Cleveland Browns Daily on your Super Bowl scores coming up next. Listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, Gibbe, we've got one last score to give you people.
One last game, and then there was one. The last Sunday with football for a little while. Yeah, you're good. You're on.
Is he on now? Okay.
Good.
Is it still 1?
Yeah, you're on. Yeah. I mean,
Still.
he's going to, yeah.
That was him back there.
Oh, that was him.
That was
It's
him.
the Philadelphia
He's so
Eagles.
so unrattled.
Yeah,
So
he's
rattled by the.
Well,
It's
Yeah.
the
Tried to get thrown
Kansas
off the
City
air.
Chiefs. It's New Orleans.
is it 1 still?
Siciliano living his best life there. He went to Syracuse. Chiefs.
What does that have to do
Eagles.
with?
I don't know, but it's amazing that Syracuse alums find a way to work that into every single thing that they ever tell you about.
That's true. That's true. They do. They do a
That's
little bit
right.
of that.
Hey,
All right, go ahead.
Andrew, how'd that Duke game go the other night?
Oh my gosh! Just
Man, shots. He's not
you
even here.
you were inspired by John McClain.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
Boy, there's been no filter in the last 10 minutes.
Caution to the
tell you
wind.
that.
We're just living, baby.
Who wants to go first?
You guys will make my job great today.
Dusty Daniels.
We do caution to the
Caution
wind.
to the wind. Y2K. God, I can't wait for him to be back. Early March, Uncle Baby Billy.
Give me an Uncle Baby Billy spinoff.
Bo,
Just
give me a score.
Hijinks. Chiefs 28, Eagles 24.
Same but same.
1 minute.
Same but same.
That's pretty much how the week's gone, too. No one's talking about the game.
I think there's just a great deal of fatigue with these two teams. And I had fatigue of it too. I wasn't interested in much of the stuff coming out about the game down there.
I didn't pay attention to anything.
But I really look forward. I think it's going to be a great game. I think
Yes.
these are two really good
locked
teams.
in. The biggest stuff going on down there involves Cam Ward and Shador Sanders, as far as I'm concerned.
30.
Couldn't agree more. All right. We'll be back on Monday to break it all down. The next level is next right here on 850 ESPN Cleveland.